Hey you folks, Cool18 here with some Cities Skylines patch news. Patch 1.0.6b has just dropped. I don't know why the numbers are like that, but there's a series of important changes. Lots of them are bug fixes, especially performance improvements on Linux, but there are a few new features that I think people will be very, very excited for, specifically a couple things that replace some of the mods that people like to use. For example, there is now a slider allowing you to decrease the film grain amount if you want, which is just a sort of graininess that was added on top of the visuals of the game. Some people were interpreting things as a little bit fuzzy and weird, and so some people were developing mods that disable those. Well, now they've just added it to the game itself, which is awfully nice. One of the mods that I was using pretty extensively was one of my #1 complaints with roads was that you couldn't upgrade from a two-way road to a one-way, or vice versa, nor could you flip one-way. So I was using a mod for that, but now I don't have to. I have no mods enabled to modify this, but now what happens, the upgrade tool, this is a two-way road right here, you can see. If I switch to a one-way road, I can now upgrade this from a two-way to a one-way. And then with this tool selected, if I right-click on the one-way road, it flips the roads around. Ha ha ha, that's amazing. And I can go back to a two-way road if I so want. So definitely a highly desirable feature that has been put into, I think this is the first post-release patch, so they got on that right away and makes me incredibly, incredibly happy. They've also nerfed parks in a certain way. What was happening, there was a behavior which I actually wasn't fully aware of, but sort of explained some things in hindsight. Parks would compete for commercial demand, basically. So as you built parks, people would go to parks instead of commerce, and your whole city wanted less commercial buildings overall the more parks you had. And so it could make it somewhat hard to grow your commercial areas, for example. And so now they've reduced the effect that parks have on commercial areas, which I think is quite nice. They won't steal customers away from stores. Also, there's building effect radius is more accurate, which presumably is for things when you put down police stations and hospitals and so on and so forth. You'll get more of a preview there, or maybe it's more like the park area. You know, the sort of green glow around a park this way. It's going to be one or the other. So you can check out the patch notes. I'll try to remember to link them down below. There's a chirper volume slider. You can skip the intro screen with a mouse click or key press. A lot of nice little things like that. Lots of little UI fixes and, again, some performance fixes. But the big thing for me is the fact that the road upgrading is now built into the game, which I knew was going to be something that would happen pretty early because it didn't seem like something that should involve changing a massive amount of the game structure, and the fact that you could mod it in is definitely evidence of that. So I'm really, really excited for that one. And also, since I found out that about the park sort of competing with commerce, I'm actually really happy that that's been adjusted as well, because I think it's probably going to improve our city building a fair bit. So anyway, that is it. Again, check the link down below. I'll link to the actual patch notes, but very exciting. Can't wait to see what they keep doing. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.